Serving other people during this time, I think, is a great point to make, because people are focusing on hoarding and staying secure, and it's like, well, could we figure out a way to unite and support others? And there's a lot of solidarity showing. People are showing each other solidarity through this time of
definitely
of quarantine, and I think it's really cool, some of the stuff that's happening. Especially, we're all the one thing it's doing, like I said before, is it's a pattern interrupt. And the one thing that could negate any positive things going on is if we just stay stressed, if we allow the anxiety to overtake us and we don't do anything with this extra time we're given. And that's what I think the negative side of everything wants us to be: afraid, stressed, so we don't make progress during this time. However, if we can choose to eliminate that stress, or figure out however we need to eliminate it for our own bodies during this time of quarantine, which is maybe creating things, maybe starting to take a regimen of supplements, maybe starting to work out, starting to read, starting to find a passion, plant a garden, do some writing, draw, remember what you like to do in high school, and start doing that again. Go get some paint on Amazon, paint some paintings or whatever. I hope this leads to more of that solidarity, but I think the one thing that could negate it all is if people stay stressed and can't find hope. And I think that happiness, we need to find it inside. It's got to be found inside. I mean, look at the maliciousness promoting happiness. Look at McDonald's. I've been thinking about this. McDonald's and Coca-Cola, they are huge because they market happiness, and there is no morals there. There's no more morality to giving people food that is going to kill them, that is very well known that's going to kill them. Coca-Cola, it's like drinking that sugar water. They know it's not good for you, but they're marketing happy families and happiness. It just feels extremely malicious when I really think about it.
Oh, it is malicious. Oh, it's completely malicious. There's no question it's malicious. Probably half of our companies in America are doing stuff that they know they really shouldn't be doing, and it's malicious. But I want to go back to something you were saying, which is that, one of the things I used to struggle with that I just don't struggle with anymore is, and it happened a lot as a younger practitioner, when, say, people would want to know what I did and how I did what I did and what kind of cases was I good at, and I would tell them all that, and they'd say things like, well, you probably just need to go back and get some more education, because I don't believe a word you just told me. Or they would be so closed, their hearts and their ears would be so closed they couldn't hear anything good for them. And I learned, okay, so over time, what formed out of that was I have the ability to attract people with the hearts that are open, with the ears that can listen. And that's what I would put out to the universe and still do, is I only attract people that are ready for change, whose hearts are open, whose ears can listen. Because otherwise I can't work with them. It's futile.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good way to look at the whole thing as well, that there are always going to be people, Dave, that no matter what your projects are, no matter what your outreaches are, no matter what your services are, there will be people that you attract that can hear. There'll be other people that just might see something bright and shiny, and they're totally not ready. And in fact, it upsets them. And in fact. So, I've seen enough discussions and lively debates and downright ugly displays of character just based around the question, do supplements work? As an example, like people will actually start yelling and, go back to school, get more education. You're obviously way effed up on that deal, young lady.
Yeah, it's like you get how can I get fixed? Like someone asks you the question, how do I get fixed? Well, what they're expecting is an answer like, take these pharmaceuticals. But when you say, go to the ocean, go hang out at the ocean for a week, that's your prescription. Or take some.
We're going to start there,
that's your prescription. They're like, wait, I want a real prescription. You're like, that is a real prescription.
That's not real.
Like, that is what's going to heal you.
But the cool thing, so the cool thing is there's enough people out there that are ready.
Yes, that's
There's
a
enough
good
people
point.
out there whose hearts are open and who can listen. When I first got into all this and I was developing myself more metaphysically and spiritually, I used to hear the statement about, come the giant transformational times, it's going to be a third. A third can't take it and just won't make it. a third make it but don't get it, and a third get it and made it and got it and are celebrating and running with it. So there's probably always going to be some slack in humanity, and that's okay. Not everyone's here to be a trail setter and a blazer and run ahead of the pack and say, hey, this way really works, guys, come with me. But I think if we stay that just kind of relaxed about it, like we're doing the best we can with the conversations we're having, and we're being of service in those conversations, and the right ones will and the other ones just won't. But
there's a lot of people ready for some
ready,
change.
big time. I feel like the big upshot, as it relates to you, the big upshot is going to be people are going to be very much more interested in supplementing. And, there is a lot more opened up now.
This episode has been brought to you by CompleteNutra.com. Whole family nutrition.